Prefatory note to short stories for short people. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Jenny Hoops, Bragg Creek, Alberta. Short Stories for Short People by Alicia Stuart Aspinwall. Prefatory note. These stories are bits of that pure imagination of which the best types are to be found in Grimm's collection of German household tales, and of which the line was so well continued by Hans Andersen. Many have tried to follow in the same path, but none, it seems to me, have done it so well as Mrs. Aspinwall. Her stories have that pure impossibility in which children delight, that fresh vigor which carries attention along, and that suggestion which even children vaguely feel of deeper meanings. The quickly growing squash, for instance, is to the child who hears it, as it doubtless was to the author, only a bit of frolic extravaganza. But if it had been written, as it well might have been, by Tieck or Hoffmann or Musaus, it would have had ere now a dozen theories and elucidations advanced by wise commentators. It would have been held to express systematically the growth of a sin, or of a suspicion, or of a superstition, or of any one of half a dozen other things of which the author never dreamed. That is the test of a fantasy piece, that it has something for all. It rouses a whole swarm of analogies and suggestions, yielding a moral when the author sought only innocent fun and the delights of narration. The lover of childhood and the lover of creative imagination may alike find pleasure in this book, and it should have 10,000 readers. Thomas Wentworth Higginson, Cambridge, Massachusetts. End of prefatory note. Recording by Jenny Hoops.
Chapter 1 of Short Stories for Short People. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, visit LibriVox.org. Recording by Raymond Cockle. Short Stories for Short People by Alicia Stuart Aspinwall. Chapter 1. A Quick Running Squash. Charles owned a garden. One morning his father called him, and pointing to 4 stakes driven in the ground, which certainly had not been there the night before, said, "All the land within those 4 stakes is yours, your very own." Charles was delighted, and thanking his dear father, ran off to get his little cart, for he wished at once to build a stone wall around his property. He did not fear it would run away, but he knew that landowners always walled in their possessions. "After the wall is built," said his father, "you may plant your own garden, anything you like, and James will give you what you ask for." In 2 days the wall was built, and a good one it was too, being strong and even. The next day James set out some plants for him, and gave the boy some seeds which he planted himself, James telling him how to do it. He then got his watering pot, and gently sprinkled the newly planted ground with warm water. Running across the lawn, he looked down the road to see if his father had not yet come back from the village. His father was nowhere to be seen, but coming down the road was a most remarkable-looking man. He was tall and thin, and had bright red hair, which he had evidently not cut for a very long time. He wore a blue coat, green trousers, red hat, and on his hands, which were large, 2 very dirty, ragged white kid gloves. This wonderful man came up to Charles and asked for a drink of water, which he, being a polite boy, had once brought. The man thanked him, and then said, "What have you been doing this morning, little man?" Charles told him about his new garden, and the man listened with much interest. "Little boy," he said, "there is one seed you have not got." "And what is that?" "The seed of the quick-running squash." Charles's face fell. "I don't believe James has that, and I don't know where to get one," he faltered. "Now, as it happens," said the man,
Sample complete. Ready to continue?